Hey there, 352ers, and welcome to Smartphone Products 3 Practice WAD solution in the module collections and arrays. So as usual, before we get started, we're going to start our stopwatch and time ourselves here and get this set up next to our NetBeans. And we should probably read what we need to do. That's probably a helpful idea. And so this one says, use a loop and arrays to generate a table of smartphone products. Start by copying PhoneProducts2 into a new project. Then use information in the variables to find 3 arrays, images, brands, and prices to hold information variables, presumably the strings for all the images, strings for all the brands, and then the integers or the floats for all the prices. And then write a loop to generate the table. Okay, pretty straightforward. Let's get started with this. So we'll copy here and call this Smartphone Products 3 and take a look to make sure that this works. Then I noticed that on the, and so I'm setting that to be Chrome, and I noticed that sometimes when you copy it on the PC, it loses its runtime information. See, when I tried to run it, it said the run configuration, the project URL, and the index file are missing. Fortunately, it's pretty easy. You can certainly go look at what the previous one was. If I go here to projects, and you'll see the run configuration. It just says localhost smartphone products 2. So I'm going to copy this, and then the index file, of course, is index.php. So you just need to sometimes put that back in again. I don't know why it does it. I think it's a bug in this, so I'll just put that there. So if yours isn't running, it's probably because of that. You can always type it in by hand also. Okay, and let's double check to make sure things run, and there we go. So we're in business. So let's get rid of smartphone 3. I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to close it. Be sure you don't delete it. Alright, so here is our variable information, and we need to convert them all into arrays. Probably the most straightforward thing to do is convert each one of these variables into just an array by putting parentheses right along there. You can see that if I put those in like this, it's going to create the element 1 for each one of those arrays. There are other ways you could do it, but that strikes me as the easiest thing to do. If I had a whole lot of data, that could be very painful. So I'll show you a neat little trick. We're going to use regular expressions to find and replace all of these things. So I just selected that, did a Control H, and now it says $image1. I'm going to take the dollar out, and I'm going to take the 1 out. And what I want, you see how it matches with all the images here? What I want it to do is I want to match with all the images and then get the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Save that and use that in a replacement. So the way I can do that is by using regular expressions. So I'm going to use a parenthesis, point down. We'll talk about this later, but this period means match any character. In this case, it says it's matching matching image, any character, which is all that beyond that, and parentheses puts it into storage, like a little calculator. And if I say space equals there, now it's going to limit it to just all those things. And now what I've gotten in there should be what I want. And so now what I want to do is I want to replace that with image square bracket $1 square bracket and equals, and let's see what that does. So if I do a replacement there, you notice that, see, it put that in there. So I'm going to replace all, boom, oops, that one did it twice. I didn't mean to do that, but I think I want images, so now I can just say image to images. There. Okay, and you see now I have them all there. So and that's because this little thing here, regular expressions, is checked. So again, if you want to learn how to use those, you can read up on it. It's can be a big time saver. So let's do this for brand. So in brand, I want to take find all those guys and an equal sign. I don't need the dollar. I want to keep that alone. And I want to change that to brands with an S. And square bracket, substitute the number that it found, and an equal sign, replace all there. And let's do the same thing for price. Okay, price dot period that equals, take out the that, and this should be prices, and replace all. Good. Okay, so let's double check that I got everything. Images 1, brands 1, prices 1. Images 2, brands 2, prices 2, etc., etc., etc. Good. Everything looks good. Let's save it and run it. I should be getting an error this time because the variables are gone. That's good. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't create any syntax errors, so it ran. Now what I need to do is change this to the things that I want. I don't need the identifiers anymore, so I can get rid of that because I'm going to use the arrays. And so what I have images 1, images 2, images 3, brands 1, 2, 3, prices 1, 2, 3. I've got my loop here, so all I need to do is take this out and make that images $I and brands $I, typing that right, and prices $I, and presto, if all went well, there it is. I have my table at 6 minutes and 52. Let's call that 7 minutes. Okay, see you next time.